on to Act 5 now, the last struggle. Also don't like that there's piranhas there. And how bad has this place turned into since we were gone? This is absolutely unreal. This is the tank. Nothing like how I remember it. You guys constructed all this on your own? Oh my boy. This ain't chopped liver. You should have seen what the tank was like in its prime. Yeah, for example, over there. We used to have a coliseum built in that section, the roller coaster sweeping right through its center. At least these guys finally get to see or what's left of our buildings. Took the liberty to record a written history of the tank in my lab if you're interested. I mean, if it's still there. Well, I suppose you lot weren't completely slouching as we were busy doing actual work in the Kingdom of Glass. You know, it's not even been too long since we left, but I was worried if I'd never be able to do this again. Are we going to somersault? Fuck yes! One less somersault for the road! Let's go! Hell yeah! Uber fun, as always. But wait, didn't that RB fellow say that we'd become a lot more powerful? What's the deal? I feel like my same cute self. You all think he's pulling our leg? At least now, the water doesn't hurt to breathe. Compared to before, it's a major improvement, don't you think? So, where are these little tykes we're talking about? What you talked about? I can't wait to beat up some babies. I'm sure we'll find them somewhere. I think I see them. Over there. Well, they haven't changed one bit. Standing in front of them was the trio that had been a part of Axolotl and Near's life for so long. But they didn't look like the deadly, soul-sucking creatures RB described them as. They look like their normal selves. They're the ones who try stopping us from getting to RB. This whole thing is a little confusing, but I'm aware that you are not on our side. You infiltrated our own personal territory with the intent of making it your own. Well, this is our home, but it's also yours. Maybe we didn't interact very often, but we lived in the same tank for decades together. You might have rejected affection from us, but Lana, Axie, and I, we loved you. We treated you as best we could. We treated you like family. It's not too late to stop this. We can become a family again. We can work together and talk this out. Let me think for a second, egghead. Those fancy words, territory laws, that place, Ryokoshi, who cares about that mumbo jumbo? But I do know that you guys. Or at least I thought I did. Listen, we're all changing. 5 of us are growing, reflecting our past and moving on. Just because you weren't sent here on a mission to kill us doesn't mean you don't have to go through with it. I'll make sure that you're all okay. I'll personally risk my life over it if you'll just talk with us. As they listened, the axolotls pleased, the triplets did nothing but stare. So, you don't want to talk then? I think the eye wants to talk to us, maybe. We are successful. The opening will be sealed shortly. You made it right on time. Endless cycles repeated. Your fantasy, our fantasy. We all had the battle longed for. It is sealed. What are they talking about? It is done. Look behind. The void was behind them, and it was swaying in a chaotic fashion. It looked at once ready to implode upon itself. Yes, it will happen. Our insurance. No matter what. Our mission was successful. Trapped in this reality. No way to return to your master. God damn it, should've known this was a fucking trap. Okay, everybody get the fuck out. Is the void really closing? Like, for really? Realsies? This isn't good. Abby told us to go through the void when it was all over. Yeah, if it closes permanently, then what are we supposed to do? But there was no time to ponder what is because it was already reality. With a deafening shockwave and an explosion of light, it happened in an instant. The void, which had been a constant for as long as they could remember, was now gone. Without it, there was no way to get back to that other place. No way to make it back to Abi or to Konios. What the hell do we do now? If they somehow have a way to destroy the void, then there must be a way to bring it back again. How else are they supposed to leave? Impossible. We'll die with you here. This insurance now clean. Initiate Protocol B. Oh fuck, what's happening? The three of them glowed and spread apart. Maybe we should like kill them now before they transform into what the fuck is happening right now. Oh, piranhas! Yay! Should have known they would have come into play. Great, just what we need. Then they morphed into terrifying creatures. They didn't resemble axolotls anymore. They were something else entirely. Dark fish with glowing eyes, sharp teeth, and an angry scowl. The three triplets had morphed into numerous monstrosities, more creatures than they could count off the top of their heads. Is this what they were all along? No. I think from what Arby hinted, there must be something even more gruesome than this. This form must be to intimidate us. I don't think so after what they did to Lana the last time we were in here. Well, they're doing a good job. Those teeth look like they're here for breakfast. Brace yourselves, everyone. No. They should be the ones bracing themselves. Because I'm ready to rip and tear. No, we're very much aware that you're good at doing that. You can see them starting to charge. Well, Rip Tank, it was good knowing you. Those are tiny pointed teeth with only one mission. But Hank didn't look bothered. Oh, bracket black, I can feel it. I can feel it coursing through my veins. Your blessing. But will it be enough though? This power. Is that all you got for me? Sharp teeth? I'm really expecting more of agents from something called Everything. You're even more pathetic than I thought. Don't feel a thing. Then all these guys are just held together. Hank, you might be big, but you're not big enough. Some of them are getting through you. Everyone behind me. I think I feel something too. So is she gonna get big too, or does she have... Oh, vampire powers, let's go! My body, my tail. As the swarm charged forward, Lana hit three of them with her tail and sent them flying in different directions. Looks like they're not the only ones with nasty fangs now. Hey, what about us? I want special powers too. Oh, here we go. What is Axie gonna get? You said that one bit him on the leg. Get off! Get off me! Get off my Liam! Yes, channel all that anger that you built up. Now's the time to actually bring that forth for once. It might actually be useful for us. Get off my Hank! Get off my Lana! Get off my egghead! Get the hell off my family! Definitely got a twinkle in his eye there. Okay, all you're using is a bunch of flashy colours. What it's going to do is give everyone a epileptic seizure, but he's also got his own fangs and he's become a little bit more fluffy. It's the transformation fantasy. An indulgent fantasy is spawned by watching Saturday morning kaiju battles. Well, look at that! Not too shabby. I'll indulge in this 2-bit fantasy too. How else are we gonna get home if we don't fight for it? Okay, let's go! Oh, fuck yeah. Everybody's got their own little fangs. And it's gotten slightly ripped as well. Oh, what about Liam? I almost forgot about him. What about you, Liam? How are you doing? Sorry. Unlike you guys, I can't handle this new pressure very well. I'm really not feeling good right now. It's okay, Liam. We'll fight for you. What's wrong? Didn't you have to go through stuff like this in the Kingdom of Glass? I did, but getting used to new things, new forms, I was never very good at it. He was resting on the floor, curled up into a ball. Reminded her of that time all those years ago. Cheer up. We've been in worse situations than this. Hank was shoved backwards into the chaos. Uh-oh, here we go again with it. Sickness isn't over. I will always regress back to this time. Back to the trauma. Ah, poor Liam. The eye. I didn't care about the eye for years. Why is it coming back now? The fall? They had enemies all around them. Instantly realized their folly. Everything would be pointless if they couldn't protect Liam. Right now, he was defenseless. Go to him immediately. Neil was overwhelmed. There were enough figures bumping into him from every direction that he couldn't move. I can't get over to him. Me neither. I can barely speak in this crowd. Get off, you nasties. Liam, you're gonna have to defend yourself one way or another. You can't be surrounded too. That must be their plan. To isolate us. Hank, due to his strength and speed, was the only one able to show his way through the crowd. What he saw made his heart ring in alarm. Chow time! Munch. Our group of Ryokushi were swarming into Liam, trying to carry him away. Without an Arby blessed body to defend himself, without a fantasy to indulge, all he could do was tighten his muscles and hope for the best. Weak. Weak. Our shining star, our prize. You came back to us. We came here because of you. Get off him! It seemed for every enemy that she swatted away, 3 more appeared. They were starting to hurt too. Yeah, we should have figured out things weren't gonna be too easy with the slots, but that wouldn't stop Hank though. He was the only one able to chase after Liam as they dragged him towards the east side of the tank. What is this? Swan was now obscuring his vision from flying in front of his eyes. A bunch of annoying flies in front of his face. Fortunately, I know that feeling too well. Living here down under. I wanted to open his mouth, but he was afraid he might swallow some of them. Why not? Might be a good snack. Instead, he did the only thing he could do. He held his breath and plowed forward, mowing down as many as he could. He wouldn't let his partner die. He still remembered that the day Liam had saved him, by accepting his true self. Liam was stuck in a haze. Over the years, he thought he had learned to control his panic. But those terrible feelings were now back in full force. He was shivering, shaking, his brain was pounding, and he felt fragile and sick. His other halves had all transformed into more powerful bodies. Why couldn't he? And where were these creatures taking him? Why hadn't he just attacked them straight on, like they were dead for everyone else? He felt his limbs being pulled from different directions. He hunkered down, blocking out the noise, and to his best ability focused on his breathing. His breathing had gotten him through trials before. Had to believe that everyone would save him. He'd been in worse pain than this. Much worse. This was nothing. All of a sudden, the chaos around him stopped. He still had his eyes closed. When he tried to open them, the world around him was dark and blurry. Was he swallowed or something? Might have been. Still, he could see a scornful eyes staring at him, lustfully from above. Before he could say anything, those eyes spoke to him in a million tiny voices that violated his ears. We are so lucky you came back. Waiting to feast. He recognized the place he was in now. Was he in front of his old rock? He gnawed anywhere. They put him next to a statue. It was a statue of himself. And yet, there were holes in it. Bite marks. That's not unsettling at all. The real thing. Much better. Why did you take me here if you are just going to kill me? Our feeding spot. The spot that brought us to this reality. Like a fire blazing in the night, the spot was so clear. What a treat that he came back. They weren't just going to put an end to his suffering. They were going to do much worse. And then they'd go after the others. No, now's not the time to panic. Now was the time to access the situation. Look around the surroundings. Every moment was important. The memorial. They really made this for me? Huh. They thought I died, so they made this to remember me by. In a way, it's like I never left. He had not come across any piece of information that would help him escape the situation. and they waited long enough. They descended upon him, teeth baring. Here we go! Fuck yes! Do it, Liam! Do it for everyone, including yourself. Didn't mean to click out at a time like that. Tiny bites from every direction instantly overpowered whatever pain he was dealing with. He tried moving just an inch, but it made it worse. He bit his own tongue until he felt blood come out. He felt his consciousness starting to fade. But if he died here, it would all be over. He would rest for just a second. But they wouldn't let him rest. They jolted his body back and forth. Could do nothing but hold on and scream. Looked down to find the stub where his foot had been. Eaten up. Who needed that dumb thing anyway? I already lost an arm before in this tank. What good is a foot doing for me at this point? Okay, well, I was honestly thinking he'd actually do something, but I guess he's just gonna take it. Which is kind of disappointing, and also a little sad. You can feel his heart beating out of his chest. Soon it would stop. Heartbeat echoing in his ears would cease. Then, several lifetimes of embarrassment and pain would end his existence at this amphibian fever dream. But he still believed that this dream would end well. Heartbeating was stronger though. Sure, it's not gonna like burst out of my chest or something. It was his essence crying out. Crying out for what? Oh, we got hopeful music. Maybe. Hey, Zink! Get the fuck off him, little shits. There was a lapse in his memory. 1 second all the little Ryokoji had been gnawing on his body, and the next he was with Ink. I got him off here for now, but you're in bad shape. Ink drew to his eyes and held him close with one arm. Hey, pieces of shit. Oh, that one looks so tiny. That two to the side. What did I tell you before? One who gets to decide if Liam dies is me. And I decided that we're going to live a little longer, so you better lay off. This woman had done enough damage. Liam was feeble to start, and with the damage they had just dealt him, he felt himself fading in and out of consciousness. That little taste of him had been delicious to the Ryokoshi. It was all they had imagined and more. Liam's essence was worth the wait. Right now it was their entire world, their mission. They were going to savor this rare meal. But for the moment, they turned their gaze to Ink. That's more like it. He took his free arm and swatted several away. Give me more heads to bash. More, more, more. He did his best to punch and squish as many as he could, but there were just too many. They were beginning to descend upon him in angles he couldn't see coming. They sunk their teeth into his back, his head, his arms, his legs. Again, he couldn't even move his mouth without swallowing several, and he couldn't move without injuring Liam. This is exactly what I wanted you to do. Get nice and close. Give me a big hug. These brainless insects didn't know what this body was capable of, so he decided to flex his muscles. And off they go. Just as this technique had once cracked an axe into two, the swarm was forced backwards. Went flying in all different directions while Hank breathed a sigh of relief. Glad that still works. Some were pummeled into the tank's floor and evaporated into dust. Some of them were caught onto the spiky sections of the rock and impaled. Many of the creatures struggled to get up. Others still, especially those that got fired into the open air of the tank, had a much easier job reorientating themselves for another attack. He made you guys so fragile. I guess that's the trade-off you make when you split 3 creatures into 1,000,000. There's still too goddamn many of you. Took his head and smashed 2 together like pancakes. Another was creeping on his spine, so he took it by the scruff of his neck and slammed it into the ground. Each one evaporated into dust after dying. And yet, there always seemed to be more spawning from somewhere just outside. Where's my combo meter? It's been too long since I had my Muso fix. Well, the more of you there are, the more enjoyable it is for me. A single minute from ink would crush or fatally wound 5 or more. Even those that withstood one assault on him didn't survive though. He smacked and cracked and thwacked until he was breathing heavily, and the numbers around him began to show signs of thinning finally. Liam, are you doing okay? It won't be much longer now. I've drilled a rather large hole in the army. I think each breath Liam took was painful. Getting even a single word out was a luxury he could barely afford. Still, he pushed himself harder. That's something he had to do. Put me down. Put you down? No can do. We'll ride this wave together. No, really puts me down. The edge of the rock. Something's calling to me. Something thumping, pulsing. It's safe. Hank looked up and began to realize the reason he hadn't been fighting for the last few minutes. His swarm had regrouped into two larger units, and by the looks of it, they were planning on swooping down on them any second. The edge of the rock is safe? You mean where you used to curl up? Liam nodded, which sent a painful attack to his skull. I'll trust you. Just like you trusted me back in the kingdom. He made sure that none of the dark creatures were there. Put Liam down gently. Then he looked up. Not a moment too soon. Swarm was beginning to launch their attack. Liam had no idea just how many Ryokoshi Ink was attempting to block. He could barely think. But he did realize something during the skirmish earlier. Heartbeating that he'd heard while the Ryokoshi feasted on him was not from his current state. It was something else. And it called to him. Liam called just a little bit towards it, more and more. It was in the ground. He couldn't speak well right now, but he could use the last of his energy to dig. That's when he knows something. Above him, a lone enemy wounded from the assaults on Ink. Presumably this piece of the Ryokoshi was acting differently from the others. He saw that finishing off the tiny Axolotl was a much more easier task than tackling the other behemoth. Sorry, but this is my place. Even if it's been a long time, I'm still know this rock better than anyone else. Move out of the way. The way the rock curved had always reminded Liam of teeth. Back in the old days, he saw these teeth as something which could hurt him. If they could hurt him, they could certainly hurt something else. Threw himself his tiny body away at this old Ryokoshi. It wasn't much energy to exert, nor was it particularly strong. But it was enough to surprise the weak creature, causing the float upwards into a spike which pierced him and turned him into dust. Hey, come on buddy, you can do it. Leech Coffee felt like his chest might explode. Just a little longer. Pulsing was warm. Ink was protecting him, so he kept digging on. I wonder what he's gonna find. Hopefully it's nothing too gross or grotesque. But I guess we're not going to be finding out as of right now. Go leave us on a bit of a cliffhanger. Yeah, finally had a chance to catch his breath, but this was no time for resting. I don't understand. There's seemingly no end to them. They keep coming and coming, blow after blow. Gotta be some way we can fend them off for good. Hey, the more of them there are, the more I can practice my deadly somersault attack. Let me enjoy this fantasy, you dumb old egghead. This good-for-nothing tail has saved my butt 5 times over the past half an hour. But, truth be told, I don't like fighting. It's hard to believe that our cute triplets are these. It's like some sort of horrible nightmare. Yeah, how could these three babies turn into all these things? That moment actually dodged one effortlessly. As scary as they look, they're not too much of a threat, as long as we keep on our toes. Clicked outside again. I wouldn't be sure of that, actually. The way RB described the Ryokoshi, it seems like they work as a hive mind. Triplets always acted very similarly, didn't they? They always moved as a pair, sometimes even mechanically. Like a program meant to eat every day, do the same exercise routines and sleep the same hours. These guys are hive mind working in unison. We don't know how many ways they can multitask. It's entirely possible the force we've been fighting so far is only meant to keep us busy while they center their troops on Ank and Liam. Yeah, it's been a while now. We should try again as a team to push through this wave to get to them. Gotta still be okay. The fact that Liam didn't get a powerful body like us still bothers me. The way RP described giving us power, he said it all depended on the level of affinity we had with him. In our case, it was how much we suffered as Alan. If that's the case, shouldn't Ank and Liam be the most powerful of us all? Ank certainly is. Even compared to the Ank we fought so long ago in the tank. Don't any of us could hold a candle to that amount of power. And it looks like he still has that power. Right. But by that comparison, Liam should be an absolute beast. Hey, get your grubby little mitts off of me. I'm not your chew toy. Me and Lana had taken just a second break to exchange words. That was all it took for them to gang up on and swarm on Axie. You okay, Axie? Yeah. But shame on them for lying to me. My fault too, for not believing in my family. I'll make up for it by believing all I can in you guys now. Axie, Neo, look. Large congregation have gathered above them, ready to pounce. As opposed to shrinking in size, the amount they had been fighting looked to have grown in number. Okay, come on, it's plan time. Plan. This break they'll corner us. I've seen how each of you fight. I think we'll be okay on our own. We should combine our efforts, distract them, and try to get to where Liam is. Let's go into the city and split up when the time is right. I think I know where you're getting at. Follow me. Actually, you heard the lady. Actually looked once more at the mob, gulped and followed. Three of them headed further into the decaying metropolises they had once built. Troopers lived on the same tank and had therefore swam in the same sea as them. But it would be a lie to say that the babies knew the environment half as well as Axie and Lana did. Babies spent most of their time hibernating, 23 hours a day. For the small sliver of the day that they weren't hibernating, they ate and swam at full speed. Even though they spent decades in the tank just as the others had, they never took the time to stop and smell the roses. Intricate small rooms and passages in the tank remained unexplored to them. More importantly, they hadn't ever been involved in the construction of the tank. So they didn't know the special places the adults constructed for the role-playing campaigns. I led the charge, crossing over many arches and doubling back twice. Kinda were Axie and Neo. Not far behind them, the swarm was on their tail. Lana, where are we going exactly? The wall. Neo grinned. In front of them was what looked like another plant-made wall. Most of the plant's walls were constructed but had several layers of materials placed upon them until they were sturdy. But this particular wall was thin and only had a single meticulously stacked layer of plants. It was the wall that had once been used to stage a fake explosion. In other words, it was a fake wall that functioned more like a curtain. Swarm chasing them didn't know that though. They expected Lana to make a sharp turn upwards. When she and Axie and Neo both fled through the wall as it continued as though it was nothing, and left them momentarily confused. Second of the blind spot was exactly what the three needed to effectively split up. You know, back during the good old days, I was the only one of us able to keep up with them. So I want you guys to lead the chase to me. I'll confuse them till their eyes bleed. They nodded and they went their separate ways. Neo and Lana took the chance to double back and when the coast was clear, head towards the void. I need to check out the place where the void was. There's no way that it's really gone. But it was. At the start of the fight, the Ryokoshi scouts had effectively erased the void. Aside from a crater, there was barely a trace of what had once been. The only way out of this tank is gone, then what are we supposed to do? I was hoping there would still be a small part of the void left. Maybe then we could have led them into that other place, so Albie could deal with them. There's gotta be a way out. Maybe there is. But we'll need everyone. Then a booming voice came from behind them. It's closed forever. Now is forever. Until the day when they reclaim us. But by then, you won't even be a memory. Neo punched the area in front of him where the voice was coming from, which caused the swarm to scatter and regroup. Haven't you learned your lesson yet? Don't mess with me. He had been holding them off for some time now, but despite his claims of having infinite stamina, he seemed visibly winded. Come on, this isn't even 40% of my total power. Didn't know how, but slowly and surely, the swarm had been growing more powerful. And it didn't seem like there was an end to their growth. Already they were leaving scars and marks on what he had thought was an impregnable body. Look back towards Liam. How are you holding up? It was still the last defense for Liam, who, though scarcely breathing, was still digging. One glance back was all it took for Hank to realize something was happening. Though winded, Liam was glowing, blinking and pulsing in a pretty color of light orange. I feel just a little bit better than before. I have to keep digging. The heartbeat is me, another part of us. Just a little further. I don't want to tell you to hurry up whatever you're doing, but hurry the hell up. Albie told Liam a long time ago they had the most potential of the 5. But here in this tank, he realized finally that it wasn't going to be through fighting. Something was bubbling right below him. You could feel that same bubbling in his chest. He knew what he was digging for now. It was his arm. Oh right, the arm that he... Oh my god, I forgot that they buried it right here. Same arm that Ink had pulled off of him before exiting the tank all those years ago. He nearly forgotten about that arm and had seemingly grown another when he emerged from the void. But that arm, even if he'd grown another one, was still a part of him that called out. The others must have buried it here next to the statue. There's only one problem now. He'd hit a piece of stone from his rock, burying the arm underneath it. Need to yell until his voice broke. Ink, are you able to help me lift this rock? Yeah, I think he's a little busy for that right now. Yeah, I'm a little fucking busy over here if you can't tell. Let me take a load of your back then. Axie? It's about damn time we got some reinforcements. Where are the others? I was supposed to be the distraction, but they ended up with the most Ryokoshi following them. But they'll be here soon, I'm sure of it. I'm afraid I brought a few guests with me though. Well, they'll just have to join the party. Can you handle them for a second while I help Liam pick up this rock? Leave it to me. I'll somersault over their graves. But then Axie knows just how large the congregation was compared to the number he'd been fighting earlier. Just this rock, right? Yeah. Heave and... There, it's out of the way. The arm is still buried even further. Somehow, someway, Liam was feeling better just being near it. I can handle the rest on my own, so go and help. Actually, where was Axie? Both looked up into the tornado of enemies, but found him nowhere. Oh, there he is. There. A couple feet away on the floor, a large concentration of a swarm lay over the body. Oh. Oh god. Numbers had been too great for him. Time for Ink to clear these guys out, and carried over to the swarm and swatted them away as quickly as he could. But it was too late for Axie the Axolotl. Babies had been getting stronger, and the differences between Axie's body and Ink's was too great. They descended upon him simultaneously, and it overwhelmed him immediately. Growing too confident dealing with the small fries earlier, they didn't expect their power to increase. And now, they were gnawing on his body, just as they had tried to do with Liam. Ink swirled them around with his big body and did everything he could, but it made no matter. In a moment's time, Axie had been pinned down and gnawed on, and now half of his right cheek was missing. Ew. He wasn't moving at all. His stomach had also been pierced through. And still, there were far too many in the swarm for Ink to take care of all on his own. He wanted to yell at the top of his lungs. Actually, the Axolotl was going down without even a fight, without even a moment's notice. But if Liam had found a way to feel better, then somehow it must be possible for Axie too. And then, a voice began violating his ears. We started off weak, but we are growing. Just as the greatest psalm so long ago. We grew even stronger, eating your essence. Get the fuck away from him. Enjoy your last moments, because you're next. Oop, nice of you to finally join us. What the hell happened? Is that... Last mouth what was agape. I shouldn't have let him go up against all of them alone. They tore right through him. We need to help. Now. Right now. Yeah, I think it's a little too late. Lion went down and began swiping her tail, but like Ink, she soon realized just how many of them there were. Axie, wake up! Near quick to assess the situation, the coyotes looked around and spotted Liam digging under his old rock. Liam, what happened? It's my fault. What happened with Axie is my fault. Made it come over here to help me. But it's going to be okay. Liam too, in a deep breath, and at that moment looked just as zen as a monk. He whispered something so low that only Neo could possibly hear him. Need you guys to run away. I'm going to explode soon. Explode? Just what do you mean? It's like I said, I'm going to kaboom soon. As soon as I get my old arm back. The explosion should be strong enough to get rid of all of them. But the downside is, even if you had those super tough RB bodies, the explosion might be too much for you to handle. You can't explode. That's not going to help us turn back into Alan. All 5 of us need to be alive. I won't let this explosion kill me or Ink. Just call it a feeling, but I don't think RB would turn me into a one-use nuke. And in the Kingdom of Glass, I had a similar ability. You knew he had to place his trust in Liam. He was the part of him that could handle these grind situations the best. The only one who's gonna stay with me is Ink. Him and I, or should I use her? We've been through a lot together. Ink is the most durable of us all, as well. Now go. Get Lana, grab Axie, then lead the rest up to us. Don't die. Same to you, bud. No, let's just hope this fucking works, cause otherwise we're kind of all fucked. Neo turned his attention back to Axie, Lana, and Ink. Began to see how dire the situation looked. Swarm was in giant clumps everywhere. Ink was doing his best to keep them occupied, but there were just too many. Lana was desperately trying to keep them off Axie, who was still unconscious on the floor. Surprised there's anything left of it at this point. Neil was petrified that he wasn't breathing. We need to take Axie somewhere safer. His legs are coming off, Neo. She secured him on her back. What? Party peoples are gonna leave already? Things have just gone rowdy enough to have a good time. We need to save Axie. But please protect Liam while we're gone. Yeah, well, good luck with that, Ink. That moment, Ink decided to make a big show and fly wildly around. He was using all of his energy to distract the big swarm as much as he could, so those 3 could slip out unharmed. He swam so hard they created a whirlpool, so that none of the Ryokoshi could follow them. They're gonna form into some sort of Sharknado or something. What do you mean he's going to explode? That we have to stop him. We can't. We just gotta trust in him, in both of them. Was she about to protest again, but... Well, she was about to protest again, but then she realized something. Lana muttered under her breath. I see, so that's what you were trying to do. Maybe you realized it too, Liam, but you didn't even have to spend half a century with him. Well, that screen is starting to fill up with a lot of them. Damn, you fuckers multiply like rabbits. He was deeply hurt all over. Cracks of the swarm made ran wildly through his body. I think we're getting close to it. Here it is. My old arm. Okay, well, better time than any to get this over and done with, Liam. I'm ready now. Please work. Please, please, please work. Glow got more intense by the second. And kablooey! Well, that turned out well, I think. Now we just need to sort out the aftermath. Just as the Axolotl did not know what the Ryokoshi had in store for them, Ryokoshi too had not imagined they would square up directly against Arby's blessing. Goal was to stop this project before that happened, so they weren't expecting a large implosion. There was only one building and tank that was not made out of plants. The only building which might have had a chance to survive the explosion. Oh, the lab. Yeah, again, I almost forgot about this place. Good old lab. Once inside, they wasted no time backing themselves into a corner and wedging themselves in between the old dusty bookcase. Now, Nia, stay right there. Don't even think about moving a muscle. Arm positioned herself in front of Nia, completely shielding his body. What are you doing? You know all the things Liam has been holding in all this time. I hope he means to use that. Exposure is going to be a big one. But you and Axie, you both need to live too. You're the first of us who wanted to go back. You have plans and conviction. I have more Alan in you than any of us. No, I'm not Alan. No alone or not. Stop, let me go. Let me go. All of us. All of us are Alan. We all need to live. You know I've always loved you. Oh, I know, Axie. We could avoid all this tragedy. That would be wonderful. But we can't change it. We're stuck with what we've gone through. But the future is still unwritten. That's right. However long it takes, we'll spend our time well in the future. Use our experiences to our advantage.